Good evening, students. This video is meant for class 12th. The subject is economics, and we will continue with the topic price elasticity of demand by total expenditure method, which I covered in my previous video. Okay, today in this short video, I'll be explaining the relationship between the elasticity of demand and total expenditure on graph. Means on the y-axis, we will take price, but on the x-axis we'll take total expenditure. Unlike previous demand graphs, previous graphs whatever we made, every time we took price on the y-axis, here also price we'll take on the y-axis, but on the x-axis, if you remember, by now you must be very much acquainted with that on x-axis we generally take most of the times quantity demanded. Okay, but this time we'll take total expenditure. Just a brief recap about the total expenditure method, beta. So I'm just scrolling back. Total expenditure method, just a fast recap. Now, pay attention. Total expenditure TE. I'm denoting total expenditure by TE. The price per unit of the product multiplied by the quantity which you buy. Got it? Total expenditure. So now, what was the concept? That when the price falls but total expenditure rises, and vice versa, means this shows inverse relationship between price and total expenditure. This shows that the demand is elastic demand. Okay, then if the price falls, total expenditure also falls, and vice versa. This indicates inelastic demand. First case, second case, and the third case. If the price falls or price rises, it doesn't make any difference on the total expenditure. That is, TE remains constant, and the thing which remains constant, I symbolically I make a horizontal line that denotes constant, neither increase nor decrease. In this case, the demand is unitary elastic demand. Elastic demand would be when EP, that is the symbol for price elasticity, is greater than 1. Inelastic demand would be when EP will be lesser than 1, beta. And unitary elastic demand is when EP is price elasticity is equal to 1. This was a revision of the basic concept of total expenditure method. Let's proceed today. This I have discussed in my previous video, these three cases. Now today, what we are doing is y-OX axis. Now price we have taken, I'm marking with red so that you can focus what I'm discussing. Price on the y-axis and total expenditure on the x-axis, not quantity. Now in such a case, the demand curve which you get is of this particular shape. I'm making over here. This, not just a moment. It's not demand curve, total expenditure. Okay. So now what's happening is, pay attention. When the price, just pay attention, I'm encircling it. When the price is OP, when the original price is at P, okay, the quantity demanded, just see, it goes here. I'm overlapping it with red ink like this. You can see what I'm trying to tell you. The quantity the total expenditure is OM, not the quantity. OM is the total expenditure at price OP on the y-axis. Now price falls to, as indicated by a downward pointing arrow. Again I made an arrow. Price falls to OP1. Why OP1? Because we'll measure from origin. From P to P1 the price has fallen down. So what has happened? I'm overlapping the dotted line with red pen. You can see what I'm trying to say. What do we so now come down at this point where it's touching this line. Let's come down. It's vertically down. So the expenditure is OM1. So what has happened to the expenditure? Expenditure has increased from OM to OM1. Means in this zone, this you can say TB. Can you see this TB? Firstly, this whole what do you call that? This whole line or curve, you can T and T1. You can see it's total expenditure curve. Are you understanding? This is T1 is the total expenditure curve. So this zone I'm talking about this zone A, from T to B. What is happening is price has fallen down, but total expenditure has increased. So this shows, I just now told you, that the demand is elastic in this zone. That's why I've written EP is greater than 1 in this zone. I hope this is clear. Now come back to the y-axis. Now I'm over here, OP1. When the price falls from OP1, it further falls down to, let's say, OP2. I'm encircling it, just see. Price has fallen down from OP1 to OP2. Now at OP1, what was the quantity, what was the total expenditure? It was M1. Okay. And what is the total expenditure at OP2 when the price has fallen to OP2? Let's go. I'm overlapping this dotted line with red ink so that you can see. Come back. Come down, sorry. Come down with me. In this case, OM1. OM1 is the total expenditure. Can you see this? I'm overlapping. At when the price has fallen down from OP1 to OP2, it has not made any difference on total expenditure. At OP1 price, total expenditure was OM1. At OP2 also the total expenditure remains at OM1. There's no change. So this is zone, I'm encircling C. This zone, this vertical line, BC, I'm making a curly bracket over here to denote this is zone B. Here what's happening? Price has fallen down, but total expenditure has not changed. It has remained constant. This denotes that it is the case of unitary elasticity or unitary elastic demand. That's why EP is equal to 1. I hope this much is clear. How to interpret this graph. Then let's come back. I'm over here at OP2. Now price further falls down from OP2 to OP3. I'm encircling P3. And now just with your ruler, when you draw a horizontal line, where does it touch this TT1 total expenditure curve? At this particular point, this point. You go vertically downwards, M. So at OP2, the total expenditure was OM1. But when the price has fallen down from OP2 to OP3, what has happened to the total expenditure? It has decreased from OM1 to OM. Note this point. Now this is zone C. So here we say that as the price has fallen down, total expenditure has also fallen down. Yeah. So this is the case of inelastic demand, in which case EP, this is zone C. 3 parts of this total expenditure curve. EP, I'm encircling it, EP, that is price elasticity symbol, is lesser than 1 because of this reason. I hope this is clear. So you can go through this, and now I'm just proceeding with a point to remember about the total expenditure method, children. Total expenditure method enables us to know only whether price elasticity of demand is equal to 1 or greater than 1 or less than 1, as we have just done above. We just can make out whether it's unitary elasticity or it's elastic demand. Elastic demand would happen when EP, that is price elasticity, is coming out to be greater than 1, and it will be inelastic demand, we'll call it, when it's less than 1. So we just get to know whether it's elastic demand, whether it's unitary elastic demand, or whether it's inelastic demand. Okay, but accurate measure, exact measure of price elasticity of demand we cannot calculate by applying this method, total expenditure method. Like we were calculating in the we did numericals also, by percentage method. We get the exact number, accurate, how much we can measure. Here we cannot measure. We can just find out whether EP, that is price elasticity, is 1 or greater than 1 or less than 1. So that was it. You want to take a screenshot of this or pause, you can, and revise this. With that, I conclude this short session on total expenditure method of measuring price elasticity. Thank you.